Hey, what's going on YouTube? We're going to do a clear of the new trial of Asura. This was requested by TechBlackNovice last night on stream. And we're going to take a look at this doing a clear using Esther and Wilhelm. Now, it's going to be an absolute washout, but I'm going to show you how you don't really even need to have really good gear or a perfect build or anything like that to take out new trial of Asura. Obviously, Esther is really strong. But the question then becomes like, how do you survive the thresholds and all the phase changes and everything that Asura does? Wilhelm handles that very nicely. So we're not going to evoke an Esper. We are not going to use any items. So we're not getting this one, but you can do the cheese strategy for this. We are going to get Engraved Cosmos Silver and Engraved Cosmos Gold because we're going to beat Asura with a Limit Burst. We're just going to grab a random Esther friend. Here's one, Bomani. And we'll take a look at the gear and stuff. So my Esther is just kind of wearing generic stuff. Her own TMR, the Battle Bunny cloak from like the events, some decent helmet, Ring of the Conqueror, crystal gloves. Like this is just like kind of generic, decent gear, right? The Ring of the Conqueror gives chain cap, which is good. And then chain speed's coming from a couple different sources, as well as some bonus stats. Just normal stuff. Even wearing her own vision card. So she's definitely not optimized. She could definitely go higher than this, but we're just kind of showing how you don't have to in order to like be taking this fight out pretty well. Penelo is wearing basically nothing, just her own gear, and she's largely irrelevant. She does do breaks, so you could replace her with any breaker that you want. Ideally one that has, if you were going to do this, ideally one that has a Thunder Imperial. But you don't have to. It works fine without it. And then we got Wilhelm wearing basically generic stuff too. His own TMR and STMR, defense gear could be better for sure. A bunch of free stuff from Clash of Wills shops. This is like not necessary. A power cut card, whatever. Whatever you got with HP and defense on it. And then just to kind of show, Bomani is geared with stuff for the boss rush. So this is not even set up specifically for this fight, but is geared just fine. Has Omni Killer, has LB damage, has True Trouble, has whatever we need. So we're gonna get into this and take this fight out in 3 turns, getting not all missions because we're not bringing someone who's going to do an Esper. If you really wanted to, you could stick somebody in here who could summon an Esper on turn 1, like a Terra or a Yuna or something like that. We're not going to bother. Actually, you know what? Let's do all missions. Let's be thorough. Let's do Terra. There we go. Where's this one? Neovision's Terra. Can fill the Esper gauge and I think she can fill the Esper gauge, right? Didn't she start with a full gauge? I think she does. Let's just take her, whatever. We'll summon an Esper, whatever. All right, let's get the actions on screen. There we go. Yeah, we got a full Esper gauge, so we can summon an Esper here. All right, first things first. Penelo is going to triple. We're going to do full breakdown, charming stage, and remedy lore just to do it. You don't really need to have it. The important thing is the break and the charming stage. That way, we've got some Imperial on the boss outside of the Imperial that Wilhelm's going to do. Wilhelm is going to do attrition strategy, siege strategy, and decisive point safeguard. That's going to allow him to cover for the next few turns, which is exactly what we want. Terra can go ahead and cast that Esper, yay. Okay, Esper done. Terra can rest the rest of the fight. My Esther is going to do Enthundaga, and then she's going to do Overcharged Atmosphere, and then a bolting strike move just to chain and do some damage. And Bomani is going to do Voltaic Field, not Electron Charge, sorry, Voltaic Field, Overcharged Atmosphere, and the bolting strike move. We're just going to chain them together, and that way they can bring down the boss on phase 1. So now we're going to do this and move into phase 2. There we go. Boss is going to die. Boss is going to come back. Wilhelm's going to cover. Take a little bit of damage. He's okay. He's doing just fine. Okay. Next thing we're gonna do, Penelo. If you didn't have her limit burst, it's not a big deal. I do happen to have mine at EX2, so she's got her limit burst, so she is going to use Intercession. That's going to put up breaks and imperils on the boss yet again. There we go. And our Esther, Wilhelm, and other Esther are just going to chain. I don't think guarding is an issue, so I guess what we'll do with this tier is just use Kurada on Wilhelm. Just to something to do, you know. There, 5,000 health. We're just gonna chain down this boss for phase 2 though, and then Wilhelm is still gonna be covering because he's got Omni cover. So there's that. Super overkill, totally unnecessary. Boss comes back. Wilhelm still covering. We have not used any items, so that's good. Okay. Last turn here, and Penelo is going to use Calamitous Step for the big break, the big imperil, and then Esther and Esther are just going to use their SLBs, which is going to kill the boss and get that finished with the limit burst mission, and it's totally done. So like I said, the big issue for Asura is not doing the damage at this point in the game; it's surviving. So like doing the thresholds, and Wilhelm's Omni cover, covering us on turns 1 and 2, and then killing on turn 3 allows us to just completely manage that. You know, obviously better geared Esther did more damage, like not surprising, right? But this is a complete and total washout with these units. So there you go. And you could skip the Esper mission if you don't have a Terra for some reason. You could skip it. You know, you could also just bring somebody with a bunch of Esper fill gear and like fill up the Esper gauge with Penelo and another unit and summon random Esper. It'd be totally fine. That's it. So if you really want to get Asura done with Esther and Wilhelm, that's a way you can do it. And yeah, there you go. Tech Black, enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.